Hey, it's Jason with a special Contrabass Conversations episode here, a mini-sode, and we're talking today with Ishani Bhoola, who I got introduced to through Caroline Emery. We talk a bit about that in this short episode. Turns out we know a lot of the same people, Rob Kassinger from the Chicago Symphony, and so gotten in touch several times over the last year and a half or so, and Ishani is starting a very cool project. We'll get into the details here. It is the International Youth Orchestra Bridges project. And Ishani will get into the details here. I will have documentation so you can learn more in the show notes. So definitely check that out on how to get in touch with her. But the long and the short of it is this is going to culminate in a tour to South Africa for young musicians in July 2024. So she is looking right now, they're looking right now for talented young people. So regardless of where you are in the world, if you're interested in a trip to South Africa in 2024, so a few years from now, if you are, or your parent is listening, a middle schooler, perhaps, seventh grade, eighth grade, ninth grade, this would be a great opportunity for you. Let's get into the details with Ishani. And again, check out the show notes for more information. A quick shout out. We're not going to run our regular ads here because it's a short episode, but thank you so much to our sponsors, Upton Bass. Check them out. They do great work, make beautiful basses. They've been a big supporter for years and years. And to Ear Trumpet Labs for their super cool Nadine microphone that I use on all my YouTube videos and just love it to death. Okay, let's get into this episode with Ishani Bhoola. We got introduced, it turns out we know a lot of the same people, but we got introduced, I believe, through Caroline Emery, maybe like a year and change ago, talking about Will Durden, I believe.
Yes, exactly. But then we discovered that you knew all sorts of people because you worked in Chicago and I lived in Chicago.
And you're no stranger to starting up all sorts of cool projects in the music world because you got to know Will Durden through. How did you get to know him exactly? Was that was through because you were doing that? Was it the Haslemere competition?
Because I started the Haslemere string competition in 2017. We moved back, so we lived in LA from 2000 to 2010, and we moved back to the UK in 2010. And I started a concert series, and then I got really ill one year and decided to start a competition, as you do. So I started the string competition. We had 11 entries the first year. We had 22 entries the second year. And then this year, we decided to take it online. We had 45 entries, and so it's now the Haslemere International Online String Competition. And we've now got prize-winning concerts in September for the finalists and one in October. The London Mozart players are hosting through their concert series part of a concert for us, and the winner's going to play in one of the Christmas concerts with them in one of their chamber music concerts. So, stuff's happening. We got some sponsorship for first prizes. So we're very grateful to generous donors and all that. And then, so I met Will because he was the first prize. He was not the first year. He was second prize, I think. And then I met him, and Daphne was a big sponsor of ours. So we all became friends.
Yeah. Very cool. It's been great getting to know him as well. And you have clued me into some other really cool. I think you were the person who told me about. Is it Orchestras for All? Am I? Is that the? Yeah.
Paul, yeah. Thorne. He's another friend of mine. Know people all over. That's a really cool organization. That's really cool. It's
really been fun going down the rabbit hole. I watch a bunch of videos about what they're up to and providing, just access to music for anybody. So, and then you've got this new project, and I'm looking at the document right here, which seems like maybe in a similar vein in some ways. It's International Youth Orchestra Bridges, right? Okay.
Yes. Basically, I think we can call these quarantine crazy ideas that. I think this was quarantine in April. It was 12 days before I could even leave the flat. And I'd already done 55 days since June last year. I think I go more and more bonkers after each quarantine. So it's good I'm getting out of them soon. So I came up with this idea because I became, my father was born in South Africa. So I'm half South African Indian. And I am patron of the West Coast Youth Orchestra in South Africa. which is a fabulous organisation, which is directed by Karina Brown. So I had this crazy idea: why not link kids in the UK or in the US or wherever, and with the kids in kids in South Africa? Because everybody's doing everything online, so why not, have a connection or a bridge between people which you might not necessarily have. So the idea is that they start playing online together. We get some kids in the UK, maybe some in the US. They start playing online together. And then in 2024, we take these kids from the US and the UK, if we get any, out to South Africa for a 10-day tour to play with the West Coast Youth Orchestra and to travel around together. So, South Africa is a very different country. I don't know if you've been there. It's a fabulous country. We have a musical director called Alex Walker, who's great. We have a safeguarding expert, Kathy, who's also a string teacher, a violinist, and has a group of kids in Coventry. Yeah, so it's beginning to come together with... we're going to be playing at the Arco Foundation in Soweto. In part of the tour, we're going to go there and do a workshop there. We're going to give a concert in Cape Town, Joburg, Soweto, and Maritzburg. And we've teamed up with a choir, the Drakendale School of the Arts. They have a choir, and we're all going to come together. So it's a huge project because I basically have to organise it all. So that's going to be interesting. I've never done anything like this before. I also have to find a huge amount of money because the cost of the project is quite expensive and not everybody can pay. And we're subsidising it anyway. So, I've got to raise a huge amount of money and organise the project and organise concerts in a foreign country. Yeah. What have I taken on?
Well, sometimes you got to dream big, and it's pretty cool what comes of that. And I have not gone to South Africa myself. One of these days I will. But somebody who, folks listening, Leon Bosch has been on the podcast several times, and from South Africa, has had a quite the career. Yeah.
I've been talking to
okay.
Him. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been talking to him.
Great. And so 2024 is going to be the tour date, but are you taking at what point are you taking applications, or what's the timetable for all that?
We're taking applications now. So anybody who's interested, you have to be about grade 5 UK standard. So if people don't really know what that is, then just email me and I'll have a chat with who they are, and just basically message me if you're interested, because we're going to have a Zoom meeting with the parents. I've got a South African travel agent, Ishani Bhoola, she's a relation of mine, who's organising the South African end of the travel, because that's quite a logistical nightmare. With quite a lot of kids to get around. So we're going to have a Zoom chat in October. Basically at the moment it's trying to find some people who are interested in coming. So basically just send a message to the waverlyensemble@gmail.com, or just look on my website.
Okay, I'll make sure to link up to that. And for people in the UK, I know we have a lot of people that listen in the UK. Obviously, people in the US, you're taking folks from the US as well.
Yeah, if they want to come from the US, I'm happy to. There's no reason not to have kids from the UK. It is basically it started as a UK idea, but we're happy to have kids from the UK or any country because it doesn't really matter. They're going to come to South Africa. We're going to have some online days in 2023. Basically, we're going to have 3 days online with everybody wherever they are. We'll work out the time difference. Don't quite know how, but mere detail. And then in 2023, we're going to have an in-person day for the UK kids in Coventry. And if there were some US kids who might fancy a trip to the UK in 2023, they could come and do that. And then 2024 is the whole trip to South Africa, which is basically in July, the end of July, sort of from like the 22nd, I think, of July, or the 20th of July. So school's out in July by then. We have to go before the flower season in South Africa for some reason, because it's too expensive. And then we have to go in July because of school in the UK. And, anyway, We're going in July.
Okay, so if you're here in the States, if you're in middle school or you want to fancy a trip, or very early high school, and you want to go with some great musicians to South Africa, which sounds amazing. I'll link up to your website, ishanibhoola.com, and then I'll put your email too, if that's okay for folks to get in touch. That's the best way. Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. So you have to be between 13 and 17 in August 2024. So you have to work out how old you are now. If you are between 13 and 17 in August 2024. That's basically
all right, bass parents. I know that there are a lot of bass parents that listen to this. If you have someone who's going to fit that age range, or know somebody who does, spread the word and check out the links, because that's the sort of thing I would have dreamed of doing when I was that. And those are the sort of experiences that'll just change your life.
Exactly.
The trajectory of your life. Yeah.
Exactly. I went to South Africa. Actually, we're looking for all sorts of instruments, so it's not just bass players. But anyway, I went to South Africa when I was 10, which is a long time ago because I'm 54 now, in 1976, and it was apartheid. So I had no idea. I just had no idea. My family is all, very traditional Indian. My mother is white, so it was basically illegal for my parents to be in the same house together. I mean, I was shocked. I was shocked. So, the country has changed dramatically. A trip like that opens your eyes. We went back, and we were I was in the LPO when I was 22, and we were the first orchestra back to South Africa in 1993 after Mandela came to power. And that was a fabulous trip. Peter Schumann is leader of the LPO, and he's patron of the project, which is very nice of him to be patron. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard great. It's been interesting talking to Leon Bosch, about South Africa and growing up in apartheid, and obviously bass players and anybody else. Obviously, check it out. You're looking for more than just bass players. But I did have an interesting conversation a couple of years ago about the first South African double bass festival that kicked off, I think, in 2018 or 2019. Zanel Brits is the name of the bassist who organized that, and I think Leon was one of the guests for that. But what a cool place to visit. I can if I was.
It's a wonderful country. It's a really wonderful country, and I think you fall in love with South Africa, and that love never leaves you, really. So yeah, I am partly South African, and my father grew up there. He became a very famous scientist. He's passed away now. But I have many family there, and it's going to be good.
Nice. Oh, I'm sure it'll be good. Your quarantine projects are dreaming up giant, collaborative projects. Mine have been making crazy history videos. So I guess we all, to each their own. But it's really cool. It's cool to see what you've done. For the Hazelmere competition. I hope my pronunciation is always atrocious, but hopefully I'm getting that right. But okay.
No, that's right. Yeah. It's online now, so it's interesting that it's online. I was not keen about going online. I sort of resisted, and actually, it was actually good because I could listen to the competitors more than once. When you do it live, it's very much a rushed affair for me because I have to do everything. I have to book the venue. I have to make sure everybody's there. I'm rushing in and out. I don't have enough help when I do it live, to be honest. It works better online, to be honest, because I can listen to the kids 2 or 3 times if I want.
Well, and when you're pulling people together from different parts of the world, like you're going to be doing for this tour to South Africa, it's great to be able to connect online and work on some logistics and get to know each other, and then you get in person and it's even better.
Yeah, and I'm organizing concerts for the kids. There was one kid who did really well, Cody. He lives in Pittsburgh, I think. So I'm going to try and get him out to LA and start something there when, if I get there, do some stuff. So I'm trying to organize concerts for the kids who are prize winners, but it's not easy when you don't live in that country. Because most of the prize winners were from the UK, but there was one kid from the US. So.
Well, it's fun. 2024 seems a long way off, but I think back to events that happened in 2018. It seems like that just happened. So that's not as long off as one might think. Yeah, folks listening, check out the links that I got, and if you've got a kid that's interested, if you're a 12-year-old and listening to this podcast, awesome, that's great. But if you're a bass parent or music parent or know someone who's got a kid who wants to who might be interested in a trip to South Africa, definitely check this out.
Thank you, Ishani. And folks, again, check out the show notes for links to what we were talking about, and her website, ishanibhoola.com. We will have that linked up as well. Very cool, huh? So we got 2024 we're looking at. International Youth Orchestra Bridges. That'll be that actual tour. And yeah, can't wait to follow along with this project. Thank you for listening. If this is your first episode or your 830th episode or whatever, I really appreciate it. If you know someone who you think might be interested in this event, definitely forward this episode so you can hear the description or what we've got linked up in the show notes. And with that, we will close this one out. Thank you so much. Thank you to our sponsors, Upton Bass and Ear Trumpet Labs. And we will see you again soon. Is that my tagline? I think so. Yes. We will see you again soon for more life on the low end of the spectrum.